What's going on, guys? Welcome to Kayak USA. In this video, I'm going to show you my new Vibe Seaghost 130 and the way I set it up for the fishing season of 2018. Check it out. Alright guys, so this is it. This is the one I went with. This is a 2017 Vibe Seaghost 130. If you watched my last video, I think it was the bass tournament video that I posted about a week or two ago. I told you I did sell my FS128t to my friend, and I picked up this Vibe. I got a good deal on it. I've done a lot of research on these, and this thing is amazing so far. I took it out for the first time yesterday, and I'm just going to go over with you guys in this video a good review, first of all, on this Vibe Seaghost 130, why I went with it, and the pros and cons between this and the 128T that I've been fishing with over the last season that you've seen in several of my videos. I love my 128T. It was very stable, but I'm going to tell you the pros and cons between each of these. First, I'm going to do a full review on this kayak and tell you everything that I've added. I added the new Lowrance Hook 2.5 HDI. I've got USB ports, a battery gauge, and a dry battery box inside. I actually am going to be uploading install videos and a review video of the new Lowrance Hook 2 and the battery install and the dash install with the USB ports. So look for that video. It should be coming up within a day or two of this one because I just finished shooting those. I've got to edit them and get them out. But I'm going to take you off the tripod and we're going to walk around this and I'll tell you everything about it. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to try to do this with the camera just in my hand and go over everything. First of all, this is the 2017 Seaghost 130. It has the flush mount track system in the front, up here on each side, and they're very long and they're flush, so there's not a rail sticking out. It's very good, and it is aluminum. They also have the same thing for the back. As you can see, my Kayak black pack fits in it perfectly. I had to move, if you've seen when I built it in my review video for this box, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link somewhere in here for it. But I had my rod pods on the side. The only thing that I had to change was I moved them to the back of the box so that I could fit it in here. But I've got my hog trough in the front. Everything works out good. The storage on this kayak is just so amazing. And I know this, I might be new to this Vibe thing, but I wish I'd have known about it a long time ago because this kayak is just amazing. The seat is extremely comfortable. There's actually padding in it. Everything is so thought about and simple. I've actually got my life jacket under my seat. Everything just, they thought about everything. The speed on this thing, yesterday I was paddling in the wind and I got up to about 4.5 miles an hour, and it was heavy wind. It was very heavy wind, and I just paddled straight through it like it was nothing. It has a, I think this is called a keel guard that unbolts, and so when you have to drag your kayak, sometimes it'll mess this up, or if you hit it on a rock, it'll mess it up. And instead of ruining the kayak, you can actually just order another one of these, unbolt it, and put the new one on. It has a very good rudder system with it. I got to use the rudder system yesterday. That's a big difference between this and my FS128T. I didn't have a rudder system on it, and if I wanted to put one on it, it would have been aftermarket, and it would have been it wouldn't have been as good as actually having one built into the boat. The rudder system runs down the side, and you can use it. This thing is very simple to use. It has the recess on both sides for your paddle, so I can throw my paddle over here or on the other side. It's the same as both sides. On each side of the seat, it has a spot designed to hold 3,600 planos. And this is empty. I just put these in yesterday. I bought the waterproof ones. But you just slide it in there, and then it's got a strap. You pull over and just strap it down. That is amazing because you can keep the tackle that you normally use, throughout the day, just like this, right to your side, change it out, and keep all your bigger boxes back here and kind of plan out your fishing day if you want to, just fish out of these if you need to. I went over the flush mount. I think that's amazing design. I love that a lot. The thought that went into having that, I think I saw where people said the the 2015s maybe, they didn't have them flush and it was causing issues, and they're not flush. They weren't flush on my 128t either. The Ascend that I had, they weren't flush, and they stuck up, you know, however thick these are, about an inch or two, and if you flipped it over you could hang it on something and just tear it up. This is a very good idea. The stability is very good. It's not as wide as that, but I would trade the speed for this thing and the turning capability of this thing for the stability of the Ascend any day. Moving up to the front, it's got a nice size hatch. It's got the built-in dry bags. I just think I've got my frog togs up here, and then I just pulled this out, and that's where I've got my battery, and I'll show you guys that here in just a second. Everything locks really good. Everything's really solid on this boat. It's got a little strap up front, so when you're paddling you can just slide your paddle or your rod tips up under this. It's got good handles. It's not the little flappy, you know, the little cloth handles that are on some of the boats. The whole design is really sharp. It comes down to a nice V on the bottom, but it does have the little pockets on each side, as you can see, and it helps the stability of this such a narrow boat. It's got good stability. Alright, let's move to the center console real quick. The center console is awesome because, like yesterday, I noticed that I could keep my cell phone in here, snacks, lures that I wanted to just use, and you know, when I take off a lure, instead of throwing it back in the box or putting it up, I just throw it in here. So that was really good. My pistol fit in there really good, and that was a plus, and it seals up pretty awesome. And that's basically how it was. You know, it's got the rudder control system built in. I'll probably end up changing these cords out. This is like a paracord, a thin paracord, but I found online where people are talking about changing it out to the cables, and so I'm going to change that out and put the steel cables on and see if it'll turn smooth. But it did great yesterday. I was really happy with the way this thing did on the water. Now that's how it came when I got it. This is what I've added. I've added the new Lowrance Hook 2. And this thing is amazing. I just did a review on it on the water yesterday. The video should be going up in a day or two, but I'm telling you, this Hook 2 is awesome for this kayak. It has the GPS, it has down scan imaging with chirp, the sonar's built in, it's got the US and Canada maps. It's really awesome. And as you can see, I sealed everything up. I've used Hobie plugs to hide my wires. I've got my transducer and my power just running to this Hobie plug. And then out of this Hobie plug here is my transducer. And this is what sold me on this boat. This hole right here. This is the transducer hole on this boat. On the bottom of this boat, let's see if I can show it to you. You see that plate right there? It's got 4 screws. You take those out and there's a recessed pocket in there with built-in tapped threads for mounting a transducer flush in your kayak. So I don't have to worry about ripping it off, and that's one of the reasons that I never put a depth finder on my Ascend, because I didn't want to have a thing that hung off the side of the kayak, you know, those little mounts they got for transducers. I didn't want to do that. If I put one on, I wanted it to be permanent. This is amazing. When I get done fishing, I simply unplug these 2 plugs, and what I've been doing, I just tucked them down in this hole right here for, you know, when I was traveling, and then I just unscrewed this off my track and put it up and carried it with me. It's really awesome. I love this setup. This is what I added, and I just did a video on adding this where I got it, and I'll put a link to that video somewhere up top if it's already up. If it's not up, just keep an eye on my channel, go ahead and subscribe, and you'll know when it pops up. But I've got a cigarette lighter plug here if I wanted to add something else to charge something, and I've got 2 USB ports here. I've got a 1 and a 2.1 amp. And what's really cool about this is I can charge my cell phone. I can plug this, as you can see, I've got my cell phone charger already plugged up to it. Plug my cell phone up and I can throw my cell phone in here and keep it charged. And I'm looking into a solar panel that they have out now. That's a fold out solar thing, and I can plug it's got a USB on the end of it. I'm planning on getting it, plugging it into one of these, and on a sunny day when I'm fishing or floating a creek, you just fold the solar out here and will actually charge my battery. And my battery is in here. I'll show it to you. And like I said, I just done videos on how I built this battery box, everything that I bought for it. But I just built this battery box. It's got a battery in it, and you can see the cord that comes out. But what I went with, instead of running cables back out and plugging up my depth finder into my dash panel here, I just went with a 5-way, and let's see if you can see it. I've got everything zip tied and up really tight here, but I've got a 5-way adapter. So right now I've got one of the adapters is going to this, and another one is going to my depth finder. So I still have a couple more that I could plug into on the inside here if I want to add lights or anything like that later. But I go over all of this in detail. I show you step by step what I bought and how I built this in my installation video of the battery box and the power supply. These have really nice bags in them that remove, as you just seen. They come right out. And you know, unless I go camping, I don't keep a whole lot of stuff in the front hatch anyway, because I don't want to climb up here and get to it. But stuff like frog togs. Yesterday I thought it was going to rain when I took the kayak out to try out the new GPS, so I threw these up front. Luckily I didn't have to get them. It didn't rain on us. The track melts, I'm in love with them. Everything about this boat I really fell in love with. It's so far it's been the best thing ever. I'll update if I find out something that I don't like, but cross your fingers, I think this is going to be the paddle boat for me for 2018. I still plan on getting the Hobie PA12 as a non-paddle boat. I love the Mirage Drive, but if I did get the Hobie PA12, I wouldn't take it down creeks. I don't want to tear something like that up, especially how much they cost. So this is the boat I believe I'm going to stick with for a long time. I don't see what they could do to it to make it better, but I look forward to it. I'm on the Vibe channel now. I've completely committed to the Vibe tribe, I believe. But this is it. This is my new boat for 2018 for fishing. If you know more about these boats, and you're watching this video, leave me a comment and tell me something about it. I'm interested in learning all I can about these. So far, I really like it. And this is going to be the boat for me of 2018. Well, that's going to do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and make sure you go check out some of my other videos. Catch you next time.